Happy New Year, and today on How to Drink, we answer the question, will it Saber? Happy New Year, everybody. This is my New Year's Eve special. Today, I thought we would talk on New Year's Eve a little bit about sabrage, sabering. How to saber champagne. Just to give a little bit of history about the art of sabrage, as this is called, the art of sabering champagne. It was supposedly invented by Napoleon's Hussar cavalry, who really liked to party, loved their swords, found out that they could open champagne bottles with their swords and that they looked really badass doing it, and just like did it all over the place. We're just super into it. More specifically, when she was 27 years old, Madame Clicquot inherited the Clicquot Champagne Company, and she loved to entertain Napoleon's hussars anytime they were in town, and they were always gifted copious amounts of wine, and supposedly they invented the art of sabering to shower her in salutes as they parted ways. It's funny, I read that, and I just remember reading, like to entertain hussars, and I was like, at the time I thought she just threw parties for these guys, but now I think maybe that entertain hussars meant something different.
Grin, grin, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more.
But, and I want to not give her any short shrift at all. It sounds like she's just some idle heiress. That's not true at all. Madame Clicquot is credited with the invention of riddling, which is the process by which one can even make crystal clear, dry champagne with very small bubbles. And also, I think, entirely the process of mass production of champagne is dependent on riddlage, the invention of riddling. It's a process by which they were able to get the yeast out of the bottle after the second fermentation. Without that, there'd be like no champagne industry, really. It would be extremely difficult to get. So she's no joke at all. So how does it work? Well, the deal is that the inside of a bottle of champagne is under a lot of pressure, like 90 psi or 620 kilopascals for you scientists out there. And that's because of the second fermentation process, the process by which champagne becomes carbonated, puts a lot of pressure into the bottle. And as a result, they've, over the years, had to make the glass bottles very thick to contain that pressure. Early champagne bottles used to just explode when the weather changed. Because of the narrowing here, right down to the neck, and the interior is, I think, on average 18 millimeter, that puts 120 newtons of force behind the cork. I didn't take any physics classes in college, but I understand that to be a fair amount of force. It has to be, otherwise this wouldn't work. So there's a lip here that creates a stress concentration. And if you look at the bottle of champagne, or in this case, very cheap Prosecco, you'll see that there's a seam that runs all the way around the bottle, up one side, down across the bottom, and around the other side. That creates a second stress concentration, and where those two things meet, it's a very small spot. The overall strength of the integrity of the glass is lower than 50% what its normative strength is. So if you strike that area sharply and directly, you can induce a very tiny fracture that very quickly propagates to a very clean cut that goes all the way around, and the pressure inside, those 120 newtons of force, carries all the shards of glass and the cork and everything else associated with it way off into the distance. And you look very cool doing it. I should never point this that direction. That was very poor range discipline. Typically, to do this, right, the most common way to do it is you take a knife and you lay it flat here on the seam, exactly. And you want to hold this pretty far away from your face as well. And you find that seam, and then you want to hold this firmly in your fist. And you see a lot of people, they do this thing where like they do an arcing move. You really don't want to do that. You want to just direct as much, because you're not cutting at all. You are just smacking, you're using this as a hammer, right on that lip at the seam sharply, right? At about a 45-degree angle, otherwise all the champagne will come out. And there we go. No problem at all. That was actually not my cleanest cut, but you know, it certainly worked, right? So I just thought today we would saber as many bottles of champagne, Prosecco, as we possibly could, with as many different objects as possible. One of the neat things that you can do with sabering, apparently, and I've never tried this before, is you can saber with the stem of a champagne flute. One thing to note is that when you do this, you want to make sure to take the cage off of the cork. You cannot saber with that on. Some people take the cage and they move it up to this second lip so that it's not in your way and retighten it. I think Dave Arnold says in Liquid Intelligence that he does not do that. I've never done it either, so I'm not gonna do it now myself. I'm just gonna let you know that some people do that. I think they think it makes it safer. I'm not sure what that would change. I have never attempted this before. We're gonna just try to saber this. I did it with my mind. Well, that's why you just gotta keep those, that's why these things are not, that's why those cages are there, for safety's sake. Okay, so you can do it with your mind. Another thing to note, champagne, it can go off at any time. Never point it at anything you don't intend to destroy, okay? Okay, here we go. First time, no trouble at all. Super easy, looks very cool. I swear to God, I've never done that before. And that one did crack. That one was not a premature decorkage. Okay, so we're 3 for 3. Well, we're 3 and 1 now, but only because this one went off on its own. I'm sure I could, if I really wanted to, I could probably de-top that if I wanted to there. It's now I've sabered it, no problem. Tried a champagne flute. Should we try the daintier champagne glass? Now, I feel like part of me says, man, I've been cut by those stems though. Ooh. See, I feel like if I hold it by the... Oh, I've chipped it. This glass is now destructured. This bottle has become extremely dangerous. Okay, well, I've destroyed this glass. And I have to decork this bottle because there's no lip left in the two places where one would be able to saber it. It has chipped off completely. If you can see the lip, we've done one flute success, one flute not success. Butter knife. There's no reason to suspect this won't work. Although it is less weight, so it doesn't have that kind of momentum, Ooh, yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, I guess so. Definitely got some champagne in the face there. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous about this. Bar spoon? Think we do bar spoon? Bar spoon, here we go. I want to do it from the end here, though. I do want to. I'm not sure why this is. I feel like this should work. I mean, the champagne stem worked in like a second, Yeah, baby. Nice. Bar spoon. Win. Will it saber? Yes, it will. Okay, next up, kitchen tongs. Will they saber? What? Come on, I never have to hit it that hard with a knife. What? Tongs. Tongs won't do it. Okay, screwdriver. Let's try screwdriver. Screwdriver. Screwdriver works great. Tongs just can't direct enough force. A spoon.
Why a spoon, cousin? Why not an axe?
Because it's dull, you twit.
Oh, I'm sorry. A straw. Will it saber? Ooh, probably not. I knew that was coming off. Okay, well, this bar spoon, that drink spoon's not gonna work, but let's try this heavier spoon from Barfly Mixology Gear. Will it saber? Going back to the old reliable knife. Okay, for whatever reason, drinking straws aren't gonna hack it. They're not gonna do it. What about a wooden spoon? Let's try a wooden spoon. I have a feeling this one will be a failure. Yeah, maybe. Nope, wooden spoon is a no-go. So I'm gonna assume a paintbrush won't work, but we'll try it. Science. It will not saber. My keys, how about my car keys? Will they saber? It will not saber. Trixie, will she saber? No, she won't saber. Going right back to this guy. Did I get really lucky with this, or is this somehow better than anything else? It's a bad sound. Okay, I think I got it that time. I figured it out. So the reason this works better than other ones is because you can find the arc that mirrors the neck. And when you get that, you can come right in, almost like a golf swing, and you can really tap a lot of force right there. A root beer bottle. Will it saber? Root beer will saber. I can't speak to other kinds of beer. I like these though, these are good. That's fine root beer, main root beer. This vacuum cleaner attachment. Let's see, will this saber? I don't know why it would. Doesn't work. A book. Will this book saber? Nah. A toy shovel. Will it saber? Sounds like it will. Man, you son of a bitch. Now, I thought this was gonna go better. This muddler, will it saber? Oh, definitely not, there's no chance. So here I think it's pretty clear what's happening. It's rounding away from its leading edge too much, and so it's not directing enough force. A cell phone! Will this cell phone saber? This cell phone is in a life-proof case, so we're not just any phone. I hope that's life-proof, man. I'm hitting this thing hard. No, I don't think it's gonna saber. I think we killed your case. Life-proof cannot saber, is not up to the task. You should put your cell phone in a bottle of champagne. It'd be much more protected. This cardboard box. Are we even gonna try this? Come on. Oh, sorry, a cardboard box. No, there's no chance. A credit card. Will a credit card saber? This one's canceled, so it doesn't matter. Will it saber credit card? Might. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. What's next? Oh yeah, a spring clamp. A spring clamp from the G&E department. Will it saber? Yes, it will. And also, I think we just developed a whole new sabering technique. With some of these objects, you can stab straight at it, but you gotta really be careful and nail exactly that spot because not everything is gonna slide really well. A knife is great because it can slide. Uh-oh, little cut. Oh, there's nothing, it's just a tiny little, oh yes, Band-Aids, thank you, Hand of Fate. I might need one of those, yeah. I had a little. So sabering is dangerous. Please be careful when doing this. Certainly don't commit to a stupid YouTube stunt where you just saber a lot of things. Leave that to me. Okay, back to sabering. Some paper! The Hand of Fate thinks I can saber with paper. No. Maybe if we fold it or something. Can't saber with paper. Bottle of hot sauce from the Hand of Fate. I'm just worried that the bottle of hot sauce is gonna pop. Nah, it's not gonna do it. Some flowers. Sure, why not? Let's see if that works. Oh darn. There's literally no chance that this is gonna, what are we doing? There's zero chance that this is gonna work. No chance, none. Ginger, this is ginger. Will it saber some ginger? Ginger, oh, dang, yeah, but it's not a bad way to peel ginger. Well, no, it's super inefficient. The worst way to peel ginger, it's not gonna work. How about this barrel? Will my barrel saber? Yeah, that'll saber, but I don't know how to, physically, I don't know how to do it. I think it will. Not really, but only because I can't grab it right. I mean, it would. Well, let's Saber a hairbrush. Thank you, Hand of Fate. Ew. Whose hairbrush is this? Oh, sure. Yeah, that'll Saber probably. Okay, a Hawthorne strainer. Will it Saber? Yeah, you can totally do it with a Hawthorne strainer. That works great. I mean, in fairness, the flowers probably softened it up some. A grater. Yep, we'll grate it. Will it Saber? Will it Saber? Certainly, absolutely. That'll Saber easy. That's just like a knife. That's like autopilot. A jigger. Will a jigger Saber? Ooh, I'm a little surprised. Interesting. Yeah, maybe like this. Oh shit, that's fucking risky. Call it a half Z. I mean, it sabered it. It just kind of held on for a long time. That was not a clean break. Not a clean break. This juicer, will it Saber? I've been better. Small cut in my thumb here. That one exploded. That's not ever what you want to see. And I do have another cut, so this is becoming dangerous. Well, we should take a 5 seconds. That's not a good cut. We could pause. We can take cut there. So we did a bunch of sabering, as you can see. I've learned a few things about will and will not saber. The spine of a knife definitely works the best, and the bigger and heavier it is, the better and easier it is. Small objects, very difficult to saber. Bar spoon, very, very difficult. I cannot encourage you to do that. And I have discovered, yes, you can get cut sabering things. I don't think I can encourage people to saber bottles of champagne at all. And yet, I'm gonna. I got 10 more here. I'll go for a whole 25. So we're gonna try and do these as fast as we can, okay? 10, 9, 8, oh, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! That's a lot of Prosecco. We did 25 bottles of Prosecco on this year's edition, probably the only edition of Will It Saber that I will ever do in my life. This was ill-conceived. I resolved to make better decisions in 2020. How about you? My barware is provided by Barfly Mixology Gear. There's a link in the pinned comment below if you want to pick up any of the tools I'm using on the show. My watches are provided by Crown and Caliber. The best place to buy or sell a watch. If you're interested in watches, why don't you check them out? There's a pinned comment down there below. I did sabering one other time on Valentine's Day this year, and I'll put a link to that in the comments. It's a pretty fun video. I'm on Twitch at twitch.tv/GregFromHDD. I'm on Instagram at How to Drink. I'm on Twitter at How to Drink, and I'm on Patreon at patreon.com/howtodrink. If you like the show, I hope you'll check out one of these other videos. Ooh, that's a good one. Check that one out. That's a good one. A lot of these all overflowed. It was dramatic. It got dramatic. Anybody want some Prosecco? I hope you guys are having a great New Year's Eve, and I will see you next year. I'm a dad, I'm allowed to make that joke.